Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another market breakdown. It is Thursday, October 30. Let's get right into it. We're going to try to make this one a little bit quicker than usual. So we're going to skip over a few things that we usually analyze a little bit more in depth. First of all, we'll start with US 30. US 30 is currently at all-time highs, still pushing, still pumping. Had quite a few news events going off on my phone last night, basically talking about Trump's tariffs and things along those lines. So all of those are playing into effect on US 30 and on gold and the other pairs as well. But right now, US 30 seems to be setting up with a head and shoulders, potentially a reversal, but this is quite a strong push off of the 2-hour EMA, which price usually trades above pretty nicely. We're still pretty far away from the 4-hour EMA. Not much more to be said, really. 4-hour time frame did go bearish, but it seems to be pushing in order to go bullish again. So we'll probably just continue on pumping on higher. Gold, I think gold's going to start to have a recovery. 2-hour time frame is starting to push in a way that it looks like it's going to break above the EMA. And as you all know, gold loves that 2-hour EMA. If we break above, retest, we will probably start to push to the upside, targeting these equal highs up here. Next is GBP JPY. Okay. Let's not draw on the screen. It's crazy because I literally turn that off every single time before a meeting, and today I decided not to, and you guys proved that I have to. Anyways, GBP JPY, or no, sorry, going into the pairs that I already traded this week. Obviously, took a pretty bad loss on GBP NZD, literally in the same place as the last time. Price is currently just pushing down. Daily time frame shifted bearish. Now we're just waiting for a pullback to retest to sell underneath the EMA with the other two time frames. USD CHF is trading above the daily EMA right now. Weekly time frame is currently bearish, but it will probably shift bullish. I'll get there in a moment, Mohammed. But yeah, price is currently pushing on higher. I think we might have a reaction to the downside, but obviously that it isn't guaranteed. We could just be retesting this area of interest to continue to push higher. I would just stay away from it until we get some kind of a pattern to form, and then a rejection and sell. NZD USD is a trade that I'm currently in. This week was kind of rough for us, and that's mainly my fault. I entered NZD USD a little bit too early right here, 20-point stop loss. And then last night, or rather this morning for me, I entered this trade right here. Instead of waiting for price to close on the candle, on the higher time frame candle. So I was actually looking at the 30-minute time frame. And I was like, okay, we're having a reaction to the downside. I looked at the 15-minute candle or the 15-minute time frame, and price had closed with a shift the structure, pullback, rejection of the EMA area of interest. We're trading underneath. And this is where I sent the entry. 15-point stop loss. We got wicked out just by like literally nothing. Price turned around and continued to go lower. The ideal entry or re-entry would have been, so we have a shoulder, head, shoulder, break, retest right here would have been the ideal entry. But considering the fact that we had already suffered a little bit this week, I waited just a little longer. We waited for this pullback to happen, then this engulfing candle. And after that, I was more comfortable with entering the trade. And it was also at the point where price had decided to actually start shifting underneath the 4-hour EMA. Now, in terms of entering or re-entering this, I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the next hour 45. If this candle closes as a blue candle, then we'll probably start to have a pullback. Not sure how big the pullback would be, but I'm expecting it to probably retest this area right here for a push to the downside. So it was a break, retest of the EMA, previous structure, and then sell. So that re-entry would probably be available. But I wouldn't enter right now unless you plan on putting your stop loss above the 1 hour and 30-minute EMAs, which are quite up there. But yeah, that's basically what I have to say about that. Obviously, price here could just continue to press down. We do have a 30-minute bearish engulfing, and yeah, that could happen. But I would be aware of the fact that we could start to see that pullback. 2 hour already has a doji candle, which usually signifies the beginning of a pullback. That's kind of the issue we had yesterday or this morning. I tried to enter immediately after this pullback candle happened, but instead we had an additional pullback candle, and then we had the 4 hour bearish engulfing, after which would have been the perfect time to enter this trade. So yeah, just be patient. If price does come back to this place, then that would be perfect for a re-entry. I probably wouldn't send a signal for it, but I would encourage you guys to wait for a proper entry signal and then take it. I might consider taking it on one of my smaller personal accounts, but as of right now, I'm just in this one position right here, 15-point stop loss, and I will be targeting the 4 hour structure right here. Daily structure is pretty close, but as you can see, whenever we sweep daily structure, we usually end up pushing a little bit lower to create the next lower low. But a proper stop loss would technically be right here. And for us, that would be about a 1 to 3. I'd like to see price push lower tomorrow. Potentially, we might close here. And then on Monday, Sunday night, we might push a little bit lower for that continuation to happen. But we're seeing exactly what we want to see. This is when the big moves happen. This is when the big money is made. Next, GBP JPY. Daily time frame is having that reaction, excuse me, off of the daily EMA and the previous structures right here. 4 hour time frame had a push up. We were underneath the EMA, but exactly how I mentioned, price broke above the 30-minute, retested, broke above again, retested, and then engulfed. This is where I would have entered. I just placed this buy position because I was curious to see how price would play out. Stop loss was underneath the EMA, underneath the previous structure. As you can see, price retested previous structure and continued to press up. Didn't take that position, so we're not going to hold that up. We're not going to place that buy position there. As of right now, I'm not really interested in trading this. Let's move on. And then anything that we don't really go into depth on today is simply because we'll do a full breakdown on Sunday, preparing for the next week. So anyways, USD JPY had the continuation as expected, retested the EMA, literally had a perfect shift of structure. So we were a 4 hour time frame was bullish. We went bearish, shift of structure above the EMA, pull back, perfect trade. I mean, you can't make that up. That's literally as great as it gets. Euro NZD, still waiting for price to trade with the higher time frames. I do expect a continuation to probably start tomorrow, and then next week we'd probably get a nice entry on the next candle that happens. So if the 4 hour time frame breaks above, retest, then we could take nice buys. Other than that, I'm not interested. This one goes down here, not interested. This one goes down here, not interested. This one could still happen for this week. I do think that that's a possibility. NZD CHF. NZD CHF. CHF pairs are starting or have had a, excuse me, gosh, whenever I do these calls, my voice always gives out on me. We've had the pullback. Now we're retesting previous structure and we're starting to see a reaction candle. That's good to see. If we close with a doji like this, then the next day we could potentially see the pullback happen. Obviously, it would be ideal to see price actually shift underneath the EMA, retest and sell. That way we would get a proper shift of structure. and then we would get the lower low, the lower high, and then the next lower low. So that would be fantastic to see. Euro CHF, same exact thing. We're at the previous structure, at the area of interest. If we close with the doji, then the next candle could give us a push down, but I probably won't enter the trade simply because we are bullish on the 4-hour, and there's not much lower time frame confirmation to take sells. Plus, we have this huge push to the upside, and that could potentially mean that we're just going to have a pullback to have a continuation to the upside. So this one I'm not so much interested in, but this one I am more so interested in. Euro USD. Euro USD is one that I also broke down. Weekly time frame had the push to the downside, and the daily time frame pulled back into the EMA perfectly, had the reaction to the downside. 4-hour time frame was above the EMA, created a double top, broke below, retested, created a triple top, broke below, retested the neckline, retested the EMA, exactly how I talked about, except for instead of happening here, it happened here, retested, sold, perfect entry underneath the 30-minute EMA, underneath the 4-hour EMA. You have your, I mean, if you don't want to enter immediately right here, then you just enter after this engulfing candle, or you wait a little bit longer, you enter, a little bit later. But in reality, you didn't have to wait that much. Market structure was perfect. It was beautiful. And this right here could have been your trade. There's not much more to say there. I think the trade is already done for. We've already swept these equal lows. Didn't sweep the wicks yet, so there's a chance for a pullback for a continuation. Daily time frame could definitely potentially see another lower low happening, but that would have been a beautiful 1 to 3 trade. As of right now, all you could wait for is a pullback, previous structure to sell. Okay, getting into the other pairs. As of right now, not really interested in this one, by the way. Well, I guess that pullback could happen today, tomorrow, but I'm not too sure about that. GJ, we already went over. UJ, CAD JPY, higher high. We had the pullback perfectly. Now we're having a beautiful continuation. Sadly, missed out on that one. Here, we're still waiting for some kind of a pullback. Seems like we did pull back, but only into the daily EMA and into the previous wicks. Not ideal for this trade at the moment. Not too interested in it. So we're just going to move on. USD, AUD, CHF, same thing. Also not too interested at the moment. Having some heavy pullbacks. We want to see some selling happening. USD CAD, this is a good one. This is one that I was looking at. Weekly time frame had a push, had a pullback into the weekly EMA. We never made it to the area of interest, but we had a reaction from the daily candle or from the daily EMA. We created nice market structure, 4-hour time frame, head, shoulders. We never retested the neckline, but on the 2-hour time frame, it looks even better. 1-hour time frame. I mean, the lower time frame you get, the better it looks. You had the push to the downside, shift the structure, pull back, and you could have entered probably above the EMA somewhere right here, stop loss right there. And that was a pretty good trade. As of right now, I would probably wait for a 4-hour pullback to happen. This is going to be the first 4-hour candle for the pullback. Likely to see something like this, and then a continuation to the upside, retesting the neckline of that, and then doing its thing. So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be waiting for. Push, pullback, and continuation. Could happen sometime tomorrow as well. This is a good one to look at. AUD CHF we went over. Euro GBP on the daily time frame, we're at a higher high, waiting for that daily pullback to happen. CHF JPY, like all the other JPY pairs, and this one did exactly what I said it was going to do as well. Pulled back into the previous structure, into the EMA, and had the reaction. CHF is going to continue to push up or down depending on which pair we are trading. Here, nothing to trade. Daily time frame still has to have a pullback. we're at a lower low. This one wow. This one on another hand is retesting this daily EMA, which is actually nice to see. I would consider maybe looking for entries to the downside on CAD CHF just because of the position it's in. It's no longer at a lower low. It's at the lower high position. That could give us the next lower low. Unfortunately, we're quite far above the EMA, similar to right here. As you can see, we're creating similar market structure where we pushed above. I mean, it's almost identical. Created a double top, triple top, whatever, head and shoulders, broke below, retested neckline, previous structure, and then sold back below. So same exact thing, waiting for the buyers to get exhausted, market structure to shift bearish, pull back, and then continue to sell. So that could happen. Probably not going to happen today or tomorrow, but it could happen early next week. That's one I'm going to keep an eye on. Where were we? CHF, GBP CHF lower low, GBP USD waiting for the daily pullback to happen. The lower we push, the smaller the pullback would be. Probably it's going to be to this area of interest now. NZD JPY, pretty choppy overall on this pair. We did break above this area of interest, retest, and now we're pushing higher. Yeah, so not terrible, but also not really ideal. We could see maybe a pullback into previous 4-hour structure before then having a continuation. Euro JPY also at a higher high, just need to wait for a pullback to potentially continue to buy. AUD JPY at a higher high. We already had the pullback into the area of interest to buy. Just going to wait for a pullback. Excuse me. AUD NZD. We have this area of interest right now. Probably just going to wait for a break and retest. I mean, this could be the break and retest. Technically, it kind of looks like the other pair we were looking at. Now, when I don't know why I was looking at sells here. I have it marked up for sells. Daily time frame is bullish. Weekly time frame is bullish. 4-hour time frame is bullish. I think it might have been because of Alex. Let me see. Sunday swings, AUD JPY. No. Or AUD NZD. No. Okay. So it wasn't one that he was looking at, so it's not, I guess it was my own analysis. Let's see, weekly, Monday. It may have been because we were looking for sells underneath this area, but now we're looking for buys above this area since we've broken out of this structure. Realistically, you could probably take a buy here, stop loss underneath, and then I don't know where you would target. Maybe just a simple 1 to 2. That would be your trade. Not interested. And then GBP CAD, we're currently at a lower low weekly time frame. We're at the EMA. So from here, I could expect to see a continuation to the upside. We would need more market structure to determine if that's going to happen. Maybe create a head and shoulders, double bottom, triple bottom, and then look for the continuation to the upside. And then AUD CAD, similar situation, weekly time frame is bullish, except for here we are retesting this structure here. Daily time frame is bearish. We have a bearish engulfing daily candle, but we are retesting the 4-hour EMA above this area of interest. So we could see a continuation to the upside from here. Even though the 4-hour time frame is bearish and the daily time frame is bearish, I do think that overall sentiment is completely bullish with the weekly and monthly time frames. Therefore, I would I would more so consider taking buys than sells. For a quick recap, okay, this one would also go into here. So nothing to trade here, nothing to trade here. NZD USD potential pullback to sell. Here pullback to buy, break and retest to buy. This one has a pullback to buy. So this one will go above USD CAD. Break and retest to sell, break and retest to sell, and then pull back to sell. So if we were to put these next to each other, it would look like this. It would look like this. So take a quick screenshot, whatever you guys need. This one is almost ready to buy, in my opinion. Just need proper lower time frame confirmation. Be aware of the head and shoulders that's here. We could just be retesting the neckline to continue to sell with the daily and the 4-hour time frame. But if we do reject and react to the upside, this could be a nice trade to buy. I would probably, I'm not sure why this isn't loading. I would definitely wait for a break and retest of the 30-minute EMA. And then that would be your confirmation to buy. Next is a USD CAD. Just waiting for the pullback to buy. NZD USD pullback to sell. Euro USD pullback to sell. Euro NZD break and retest to buy. NZD CHF break and retest to sell. And CAD CHF break and retest to sell. Okay. Any questions? Yes, no, maybe. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.